What's going on, guys? My name is Brandon Lavender, 34 years old, from Chicago, Illinois, but I've been out in Florida for the last 15 years. And just like my partner that I have in my roofing company, my focus this year is on content and just kind of coming out with who I am as a person and what I like as a person, not only for inspiration, but also success and maybe business advice and just the factors that I've experienced as a person in life to be who I am. And I just think, my voice is one voice. There's a million voices out there. But the more voices that maybe you can intake, or the more voices that might inspire you to be somebody different than who you are as a person now, and maybe who you want to become as a person this year or today or tomorrow or whenever that voice might affect your life. When I was 23 years old, I had my first daughter. Her name is Arabella, and me and her mother were really just friends. She got pregnant, and I was still a rock star, immature, hothead, didn't really know how to handle anything. No pressure, like presence, nothing like that. And, my daughter really grew me up to a point where I was at my rock bottom. And I thought I was at rock bottom in my past. I've been to prison. I've done a lot of messed up things in life, and, to get where I'm at today, I've definitely defeated a lot of odds. And, but anyways, 23 years old, I'm sitting in my living room, broke, negative like $100 in my bank account. And I start listening to a guy, which is famous as can be now, is Dr. Eric Thomas, #1 motivational speaker in the whole world right now. And I just started listening to him, and I started listening to him over and over and over again. And his words inspired me so much as a person that I actually did something about it. And I can tell you, from having a negative $100 balance in my bank account, 6 months later, I had 50 grand in my bank account, not even leaving my house. Started a business selling home security systems, ADT, Vivint, throughout the country, and just started dominating in sales. Like, it was an idea I had in the past for a guy I worked for, but I finally got to that point where I knew that I wanted to be something more than I actually am. I knew that there's something more than just working a 9 to 5. I knew that there's something more than getting paid hourly. And I knew that there was just more for me as a person, because I had such a strong presence and such a strong personality that life isn't just those things. You can be whoever you want to be. You just really have to put the time, the dedication, the desire, and the motivation into everything. And you could be whatever you want to be. I since then, I went to the car business. And I'd just like to give you guys a little bit about me as these videos progress, so you know who I am from the start, but I joined the car industry, never had been in the car industry in my life. And this was after I had done the whole home security thing. And I actually was denied by 7 dealerships. They all wanted me. Let's not get it mistaken. I wasn't not offered the job. But since I had a background from when I was 17, 18 years old, I was denied employment because of my background. And finally one dealership overrode it. And I'll never forget it, because it was a guy, Jesus Abreu and Dino. And I called him. I told everybody who was my uncle so I can get in. And I let them know that I would be the best hire they have ever brought inside that building. And I kid you not, I was salesman of the month the only 3 months I was there. It was a pretty bad atmosphere when it came to narcotics and alcohol, and I didn't want to keep myself surrounded in that atmosphere. A lot of bad things that went down, but I had transferred over to a place called Toyota Kia of Vero Beach in Florida. And I said the same thing there. I had a little bit of a resume now in the car business, so I wasn't too worried about my background, but it still gave me those doubts. You know, you're always going to have those doubts when you're denied job after job, especially coming out of prison at a young age. But they gave me the opportunity, and I let them know there that I would be the best hire that they've ever had. And I worked there for 5 long years. It was a good 5 years, and I'm very thankful for everybody that I worked with. I met a lot of great people, including my partner in my roofing company now, Ray. And all 5 years, all I did was dominate. I was salesman of the month. I was rated tops in Kia in the world. I broke every record there, and every record is mine. But it was my will and my desire to work. You know, you can't let one check affect you. You can't make 10 grand in one check and just think that, oh wow, I can pay my rent, have like 6-7 grand to play around with, and I'm gonna retire. It doesn't work like that. You know, once you make these checks, at some point you keep making the checks and you start living a different lifestyle. Like, there's different bills, there's this and that, and you don't even know how much you're spending a month in bills because you're just making it, and it really just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So made crazy money. I was making close to $500,000 a year. I left management to go back just to the sales floor because I was making more money out there than I was as a manager. You know, and then from the car business, I was in a little depression. I won't lie. I was in a little depression, and my partner Ray actually was kind of like one of my enemies in the car business, but a lot of people were. You know, you wear an X on your back when you're one of the top guys, and, you know, I don't like to toot my own horn, but, you know, I put a lot of work into being the top guy. I wanted to be the top guy. It was like an addiction. And Ray had asked me to meet him at Casa Amigos, which is a Mexican restaurant out here in Port St. Lucie, Florida. And we met, we talked, and I had a vision for it. He had his vision, and I joined. And, you know, I got to say, I was half in at first. I didn't know if it was going to work, and I jumped so far in so quick. And I got to say, we've been in business for 15 months as a company, and we've generated over $15 million in revenue. We've created over 4 people in our first year to make over 6 figures. We've broken pretty much every record that every major roofing company has done that's set the bar, you know, and we've done it at a high level. You know, in our company, most roofing companies are focused more on claims and going through insurance, but we're focused really mainly on retail. And, you know, we even go to these roofing conferences, and these conferences, all the roofing companies are like, oh, claims, and all we're saying in our head is retail. So we have a different aspect. We come from a different breed. We were trained differently, but we have a desire that won't let us fail. And more so of me and what my videos I want to be about is inspiration. I want people to be able to look deeper into themselves and know that they're worth a little bit more than they really are, but also, like, understand that you could be whatever you want to be throughout the lifestyle that you live. Like, it doesn't just get, you know, put on one job just because you got offered to work at, you know, some office or some restaurant or anywhere. Those aren't your limitations. You're just setting those as your limitations as a person. Your limitations are endless. The sky's the limit for anybody. It's not just me. It's not just my partners. It's not just, you know, Bill Gates or Donald Trump or any big name. No, we set our own standards for ourselves. And as a person, you need to really look at yourself in the mirror and just think, are you worth more than what you're doing currently? Do you need to work for this person that you're working for, treated like shit, not treated the right way, not paid the right way, barely making it, your family's struggling financially? No. The quick answer is no, you're not. You need to find your will, you need to find your why, and you need to discover more of a person of who you are, and you need to definitely execute that as a person. You know, I came here to Florida out of prison, just getting off parole, and I moved here with 2 garbage bags of clothes and a dog, a puppy. And the puppy's still here, living with my uncle, still alive. I can say I have 3 kids now. I am very financially stable, very financially successful. Part owner in a roofing company that is just going through the roof. And I have a bunch of sales guys and employees that we call family that work for us that will never leave because they're treated the right way. And they're treated the right way because me and my partners have been through those paths that are treated the wrong ways. So every company has right processes, but they also have a ton of wrong processes. So it's really up to you as a person to figure out what's wrong and what's right for your lifestyle. But everybody can make 6 figures. Stop letting yourself fail. It's not the people around you, it's you. Take all those bad, negative comments that people say or may do towards you and just utilize those comments and use it as like a chip on your shoulder to be a better person and want more in life, and you will get it. If you set your mind to it, I promise you will get it. There's no doubt about it. There's no questions. That's just it. That's just it. That's the bottom line. You have to find your why. There's always a why. For me, I grew up with a very, very messed up parenthood. You know, my parents weren't the best. I could say that. My dad died when I was 17 in prison. My mom is a successful millionaire that just never had the time for me. I was living with my aunt and uncle for 4 years in Florida before I moved to Chicago. And before that, I lived with my father, who was a raging alcoholic. And we lived hotel to motel. I didn't even go to school until I was 7 when I moved in with my aunt and uncle. But went to prison at 17. Graduated early from high school. I was a very smart kid. Got out of prison, and I was denied job after job after job until I finally got a sales job. And they told me, why would you want to go to college again? And I started seeing the sales paychecks. It was like $8,000 a week, $9,000 a week, $10,000 a week. And I was like, hell yeah, this is sweet. So I put all my energy into learning from people who, you know, made millions and billions in sales and paid for courses and got taken in by some billionaire executives that wanted to teach me because they saw the potential. And I took full advantage of that. You always got to be able to want to learn and listen, especially when people have done it. When success is around you, you become more successful. If you surround yourself with a bunch of losers that aren't doing shit, that are getting in trouble, that are just idiots, then you can't really expect a better outcome for yourself. You want to surround yourself with people that want more in life and not just settle for the less. You know, it's all a mindset. It really is. But you know, I want to get more into this as my videos continue. But this is like my intro video for myself, a little bit about me, and hopefully I can start gaining some followers. We're in Florida right now. I'm just sitting by a pond. It's beautiful out here, and it's probably like 70 degrees. It's a little cold for Florida. It's 70 degrees out here. It's like a 40-degree day in Chicago almost. I don't know. It's weird. But I hope you guys like it. If you can, just hit the button below. Subscribe. I'm going to be putting videos out pretty much almost every day and just taking 15 minutes of my day just to talk about what I'm thinking, some of my inspiration, some motivation, and just going from there. So I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you.